We're going to be talking about why some folks lack and some are what we call blessed.
And I just go, wow, this is not about not having enough, but it's really her mindset.
Our mindset impacts how we think. And if the mindset did not change, the situation of the business won't change.
When we compare ourselves with others, is we end up having this unrealistic or distorted goals. Then we end up making decision. You chase someone else's dreams and goals,
right,
and not your own.
Bible is very clear. Renew your mind, right? And really it's a recipe for transformation. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Pillay Place podcast. And today, my wife and I'm Rahul. My wife is Van. She's right here next to me. We're going to be talking about why some folks lack and some are what we call blessed. What do we mean by that? Well, there's a difference sometimes, and we'll talk a little bit about comparison, but there's a difference sometimes when we look at people in general. Some people have a lot of resources or means or wealth or money to go out and do the things that they want to do. And some people just don't have that. And why is that? And we're going to be approaching this question from a biblical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint. And we'll talk a little bit about mindset, comparison, and really what I say, what you don't know, you don't know. And these are really the three things that impacts one's ability to be blessed. What do I mean by that? Our mindset impacts how we think. 2, comparison is a big thing. We live in a society and culture where we compare. I mean, ads are all designed for us to think about and compare ourselves to others, right? And then 3 is when you don't know something, you just don't know, right? And we have a great story about that. But if you don't know what's available in the store, then you won't go out and get it. As simple as that. So anything on the mindset?
No, but when we were talking about, what to talk about for this episode, I actually thought about my conversation with a friend. And, she was unloading her stress on finances.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, and she's been a great friend and still is. And she kept saying, we just need more in our savings. She's stressing out about the things that she wants to buy, but that she can't buy because she just wants to increase her savings and it's not where she wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And then one day she actually told me the number that she has in her savings. And it's almost double, if not triple, the amount that we have in our savings.
Right.
And I just go, wow, this is not about not having enough, but it's really her mindset on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about mindset is, it truly impacts our behavior as well. But, the lack mindset, what do we mean by lack? Lack means that you don't have enough. You don't have enough resources. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough ability. You don't have enough talent. You don't have enough opportunities, right? Some of the words, and I simply looked this up, but some of the words that people that tend to have a lack mindset use is can't, cannot. I hear this in business a lot. Mm-hmm. We can't hire more people right now. 5 years goes by. We can't hire more people right now. Why? Their mindset didn't change in the last 5 years. And if the mindset did not change, the situation of the business won't change, right? Mm-hmm. Things never work out for me. It always works for you because you are more talented, better looking, or whatever, right? Opportunities just come to you. There's not enough. We're actually teaching our children not to have this mindset, not enough, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get into a hoarding type of situation where no matter how much you have, it's not enough. Your savings account could have $1 million, it's still not enough. Because when you're at $1 million, if you have a lack mindset, that means that you can't. It's not enough because you have a lack mindset. Even though for someone that looks at that $1 million that doesn't have a lack mindset, would think that's a lot. Mm-hmm. Some other words, we have limited options. We're stuck. We're trapped. It's an impossible thing, right? Never is constantly in your language. And scripture, like from what the Bible says is whatever's in your heart the most is going to come out in your mouth.
Yeah. And I think this mindset of not having enough, not being enough is, comparing yourself. Because what are you really putting yourself up against
Yeah.
to know what you are, to know what you're comparing yourself with?
Yeah. Or like, yeah, I guess, can you elaborate a little bit on the comparing? Why do we compare ourselves? I guess because I used to do that a lot, and it came from a place of insecurity.
Well, I think there's two types of comparison.
Yeah.
This upward comparison, which means there's someone that you perceived as better than you. Okay. And then a downward comparison is someone who is worse off than
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And what happens when we compare ourselves with others is we end up having this unrealistic or distorted goals.
Right.
Because then we end up making you chase someone else's dreams and goals
Right.
and not your own.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is when we compare, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this, is the feeling of inadequacy,
Yeah.
the feeling of I'm not enough. And then it leads to, of course, feeling down, feeling anxious, feeling worry, because you're constantly comparing. And I think we live in a world where social media is out there. I'm not going on enough vacation. I'm not going on enough trips. Whatever it is that
Yeah, I have to share. I mean, there was this one time where I was simply just looking at an ad on a YouTube video, and it was so funny. Like, this guy comes up, he's super good looking, has amazing skin. And I didn't think that I had bad skin until I saw his skin, and I'm like, oh my God, I have horrible skin. Like, all of a sudden I washed my face in like 2 weeks. I mean, I do wash my face sometimes, but like, point being is all of a sudden I am like caring about my skin.
Yeah.
Right. I do have to make a point though. In business, comparing in a productive way is important.
Yeah.
Like, we compare ourselves to our competition. And if we do it the right way, what it really does, and as individuals, I think this is the right way to do it too, is it really should point you to who you are. What is your identity?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I think when we compare, we also it takes us away from being grateful.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that we're settling with what we have, because that's probably another podcast. But it's taking us away from being grateful and having gratitude with what we have now.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. If we're constantly comparing ourselves to others, we're not trying to improve ourselves. We're just trying to prove to others. We're looking for approval,
Right,
rather than acceptance.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've identified this mindset issue, right? And we're talking about comparing. Mm-hmm. I think what we need to do, at least my question to you, is how do I get out of this mindset? If I have these words in my everyday vocabulary, and I know I compare myself. I mean, I did it recently with my skincare, but like, point being is we all do it. How do we get out of this thing? Like, how do we stop or maybe even lessen it, right?
Yeah, it takes an intentional effort.
Okay.
Like, you're going to have to make a decision and be very intentional in saying, I'm not going to compare myself to others, but you focus on your own personal growth metrics. Like, how am I doing compared to my past self? Like, oh, okay, last year.
That's good.
Last year, I didn't do any workout whatsoever. This year, I have.
Am I doing better this week?
Am I doing better this week? Am I doing something every day to be the better version of myself than from yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm going to tie that to mindset, because that's really important, right?
Yeah.
Because that goes to the root issue. You could change the behavior to a certain point. Like you can change your diet, you can change how many times you go to the gym to a certain point. At the end of the day, what needs to change is your mindset and what's inside of you, right? And the Bible is very clear. It says in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, okay? Romans is a book in the Bible, chapter 12, verse 2. It says, and you love this scripture because your entire practice is based on this, but renew your mind, right? And really it's a recipe for transformation. And what God says is my people can be transformed if they just renew their mind. Meaning that if they just get to understand and know who they are, what I created them to be, they can accomplish way more than they ever imagined.
Yeah.
They will literally see a transformation come to place, but they just need to start with renewing their mind. It starts with a renovation. The word renew is pointing to a renovation, which means a complete do-over of what's happening in the mind.
Yeah.
And some practical ways that I've done this is, I read the Bible quite a bit, and that has helped me a lot. But I also read self-help books. I read a lot of John Maxwell leadership books. I spend time on podcasts like this or other podcasts that are very positive, right? That helps with my thinking, and then also removing things that adds more lack mindset.
Yeah.
If you're constantly watching things that makes you compare to others, you might want to stop that for a little bit. Like, let's just stop the losses, what they call it in business. Let's stop that. And then let's start by going in a different direction.
Yeah. And I mean, we're in a world that just has so much marketing, and it's more prominent now than ever in terms of comparison. I think more public about it too. And I think it's important to kind of discern or see, am I watching this as this is an inspiration, or is this like out of insecurity?
Yeah.
Is it making me more inspired to do better, have better skincare? Or is it making me feel like, gosh, I'm not doing enough?
Yeah.
I think in general, we are all doing the best that we can.
Right.
You were talking about mindset on like the words never, or what was it you say?
Can't.
Can't,
Not
I
enough.
cannot, not
Limited.
enough.
Yep.
Right? Those are actually distortions. They're automatic thoughts that are distortions. It's a black and white type of thinking or magnification, minimization. Thoughts.
What do you mean by distortion?
There is something incorrect about that thought. There is something wrong, incorrect about that thought.
Give me an example.
Well, I think of one of our children,
Yes.
and something happened, and he would say, like, I never get what I want.
Yeah. Which is just simply
that
not true.
relatable? Parents out there, like, I never get, you never care. You never let me have any ice cream.
Yeah. Couples do it all the time.
You never buy me flowers.
You never. Yes.
Right? And so
you
there's
never spend time with me.
Yeah, there's always like, there is an incorrect, or you always, you never, are the most common. And if we look at it realistically, if I've never given you ice cream, how do you know how ice cream tastes like? Okay.
It's purely a fallacy when you talk about data point.
Exactly. And of course, we want to be more empathic about that when it comes to parenting. But inside my mind, I'm like, come on, dude.
That's just not
like,
true.
that's just not true.
Yeah.
And he believes that.
Yeah.
Like, he believes that. And so there's something incorrect, something distorted, something off on that way of thinking.
Yeah. Well, this is a really good time to plug this in. But, Jesus said in John chapter 10, verse 10, I come to give you life, right? But from the beginning, the enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yeah.
Right? And if you lie enough number of times, you will start believing it.
Yeah.
And if you start believing a lie, then your whole entire worldview changes based on that lie.
Yeah.
And that's a sucky place to be.
So you really want to indulge in the truth.
Right.
And I don't want to go into the brain stuff, but like the more we think about a thought, the more true it feels.
Yeah.
So the more you think about, I don't have enough, like this friend, that we were talking about earlier, like she's like, I just don't have enough. And she truly believes that.
Yeah.
And if we're just looking at numbers wise, the number in her savings is significantly more than what we have in our savings. But I'm still feeling like I have more than enough.
We are blessed.
We are
Yeah.
so blessed, right? But that's the mindset.
Yeah. So I mean, let's cap that off and talk about this next point. But I mean, that's really important. In order to change the way you think, you have to renew your mind. And there's practical things you can do. You can listen to more of these podcasts. There's others just like this. We read books. We spend a lot of time in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? Taking more positive in than negative will help you.
Yeah, and I think like imagining too, or like having repeated thoughts. That's actually what's gonna build those. Our brain is fascinating, like the way God makes it. It can build stronger neural pathways the more you think about that thought, and the more you think about the truth, the lies, the untrue thoughts become like less.
Yeah.
They're like buried, or they're
If you study truth is designed to scare off lies, right? Light,
I like that.
Yeah, light. When you turn a light on in a dark room, darkness will flee. That's what the Bible says. That's simply the difference between truth and lies.
Yeah.
When you turn truth on, lies will flee. Let's get to the next one. What you don't know, you don't know. That's an important one, and we'll cap off with that, right? But there's a quick story that you want to talk about, the popcorn story. You remember the popcorn story?
I saw that in your notes, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, this was your story, so I don't know what you're talking about. But it's really what you don't know, you don't know. You know what? When I was born, when I started following Jesus, one of the things that I did not know was what the blessing is, like what the blessing means, right? A lot of faithful folks will say, "Well, I am blessed." What does blessed mean to you? Right? And we were going to talk about a story where we didn't simply know what was there for us, right? It's like walking into a buffet, right? And thinking you got to order a la carte. And you're sitting there at your chair and you're not enjoying all the things at the buffet table because you just don't know what's available.
Yeah.
And when you follow Jesus, that's actually how it is. You kind of got to figure out all the benefits that comes with your subscription to believing in Jesus. Right? And it's subscription is a very, very bad word for this, because the blessing, what it really means is, and how I study it is, when you know that you're blessed, all you know is that God created you to be someone, right, as a child of God. And when He created something, He will always give it the resources necessary to be that person, right? And the simplest example I can use is if you create an electric car, right, you will make sure it has the electricity it needs to run.
Well, I think about like parents who really want to send their kids to college, and they start saving for college
Without them even knowing.
or before the kid can even learn how to read, right?
Yeah.
Like they're already saving for college because
Right.
they want their kid to go to college.
Right.
And so the kid doesn't have to worry about,
Right.
it's already planned out for them. He will give you the resources and the needs if he wants you to do something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if by design from the beginning, when God created us, He said, "Go be fruitful and multiply," meaning that our desire to go out and be fruitful, go out and achieve something, make something of ourselves, the desire to go out and get things that fulfill us or
Yeah.
make us feel more fulfilled. These things are what He gave or put inside of us. That's what the blessing really is. Unfortunately, because of sin, which we talked about in one of our prior episodes, we'll put a link here or click here. Sin disconnected us from knowing what all the resources he has provided us.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, sin happened. Fortunately, Jesus overcame that sin. So when we believe in Jesus, we get an opportunity to find out all the things he has for us, and more importantly, what are we supposed to be? From a human perspective, to be go out and fruitful and multiply, right? Have kids, have generations, but also individually, like as an individual person or individual family unit, who are we supposed to be?
Yes.
So with that, I think we will close. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I do. I wanted to kind of just share if you find yourself, having a hard time being like grateful or feeling like you're not enough, doing enough, or comparing yourself with others. I would actually take a pause, take a moment, and think back. How have I improved from myself, like in the past? My past self. How am I doing compared to my past self? Versus trying to compare yourself with others. Because we're looking at this whole very complicated, complex human or person, right? And we're seeing just a part, just a clip on social media somewhere. And we're determining ourselves as not enough. And so the best way to actually not compare, or it first takes intention, and second is looking back at, did I improve something? Did I make more money this year than last year? Or did I work out more? Did I walk more than I did a few months ago? And trying to compare yourself there. So then it just feels less pressure.
Yeah. So why do some lack and some are blessed, right? Is because of the way we think, right? Which includes comparing. And three is we just don't know what God has for us. And if you just spend a little bit of time understanding who God is and what he has for us, right? As a matter of fact, just get to know him and you'll get to figure out what he has for you. Mm-hmm. And that will really help you understand all the things that God has made you to be and has for you.
Yeah, staying in the blessing and not in the lack.
Amen. Thank you.
So if you're enjoying this episode so far, please subscribe. We'll be making more. I think we release one every week. And we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.